Welcome back to Phasmophobia. If you guys could like, comment, and or subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Anything that you could do for the channel does help me put more back into the channel for you. All of that being said, we're gonna finish our upgrades here. We're gonna continue on with our nice little series where we identify ghosts and then check them out on a ghost Wikipedia or Phasmophobia Wikipedia. And kind of go over the non-anecdotal, or less anecdotal anyway, nature of said ghost. That was the wrong button. Whoops. Let's pop up single player. I don't know how well I can even show this. Let's find out. See what I want to do. Window capture, select window, notepad. There we go. Hey, look at that. I got this working. It's perfectly centering it, and oh well, we'll live with it. So far we've done Spirit, Mirror, Polter, Myling, Banshee, Revenant, Obake, Diogen, Jinn, and Mimic. We're pretty much doing these in the order that we end up getting the ghosts. So we're going to start into this. We're going to figure out what ghost we can come and find next, and hopefully we can find one that's going to fit into this list. I think if we do that and that, we're right back in business. We're going to do this on Professional, which means, and we can look at it here, that actually doesn't give off very much information, does it? Let's dial it up to one of the customs. Reset Professional. Hey, I would really look at the actual information. Player starting sanity is 100%. Sanity pill restoration is 30% per sanity medication. Sanity drain speed is maxed out already at 200%. Sprinting is enabled. Player speed is normal. Flashlights and loose items and consumables is both on. Ghost is normal speed. Roaming frequency is already dialed up to high. Change favorite room is set to low. Activity level is set to low as well. Event frequency is set to medium. Friendly ghost is of course off. We have a 3-second grace period. Hunt duration is set to high. Kills extend hunts, and evidence given is off. And 3, there's a 100% fingerprint chance, so if it has ultraviolet as an evidence and does anything, it should immediately give us the evidence. Otherwise it could be an Obake, because Obake has like a 25% chance ish to not reveal any ultraviolet evidence. And fingerprint duration is actually 2 minutes. It's quite a lot. Setup time is a whopping 0. So as soon as you open that door, the ghost is allowed to hunt if it's a demon, because that's its ability. Or mimic, because like a mimic can mimic a demon, and the demon can use its ability. Whether set to random, door starting open set to medium. Number of hiding places is also medium. Sanity monitor and activity monitor are both set to on. Fuse box at the start of the contract is turned off, but it is not broken. It is visible on the map. We do have one random cursed possession. I forget which one this was set to. Go back there and just pop back over here to Professional. We'll do this on Tanglewood. It's not the map that's important, it's the ghost. Everything else is dialed up in the truck and ready to go. Alright, this is actually round 3. We have 14 ghosts we haven't done yet. And the first one that I did on this has been a Mimic. The second one so far has been a Spirit. We've already done both of those. So now we gotta go through it again. My game's freezing now because it's not happy with me. There we go. So yeah, find the breaker, get that turned on, find the ghost room, find all 3 evidence, and check against our list if we've already done this ghost. Kind of gone through this intro a few times now, so I'm likely forgetting stuff. And for the 3rd time in a row, the breaker is in the basement. A summoning circle this time. .8, so about 10 degrees. 9.6. 10. Ooh, I heard something somewhere. Bone. Won't be a great time to have a spirit box right now. We got 4. I don't know what all it's beeping about. Plenty of sanity mid. This bathroom. Yeah, that bathroom. That's 40% gone, so a lot of ghosts can hunt right now. Alright, so I disabled my audio so I can talk during this, and the ghost isn't going to straight up kill me. That was a hell of a call right there. There's that over. Let's go ahead and toss this stuff inside of here. Check our thermals real quick. We got about 20 seconds. 6-1. Hasn't touched anything on any of these doors. Let's skedoodle. So yeah, every time you pull up the mirror, it drains 20% of your sanity, so that was 40% sanity and a little bit running around in the dark. Whew, that is quite a chunk missing though. How long was I running around in the dark? Oh, I had that event, that's right. Okay. Well, next time we go in there, we'll check for spirit box, place the writing book, and the dots projector. Those should be doing 30% per sanity medication, so I just should have recovered 60, which should basically, yeah, take me about, yeah, that's full recovery. We'll take a step in this bathroom, we'll check for spirited box, and place the other evidentiary items. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Ultraviolet? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Where are you? I can see the red line there. The spirit box is picking up my voice and recognizing that I am asking it questions, and it is not getting a response from the ghost, which was definitely in that room, or at least within range of the spirit box. So we're not going to get that as evidence. Next up, we could check for ghost orbs. We could place more dots and more writing. Give it more of an opportunity for the dots interaction and more interaction opportunities for the writing. Bathroom is kind of terrible to try to get ghost orbs in. Is that a ghost orb? That's a ghost orb. It's technically outside of the bathroom. Event? No event, just touch on light switches. And turning off the breaker at the same time. Interesting. Alright, so we do have ghost orbs. That is our first evidence. We have not gotten spirit box. We can actually cross that off on this. Nothing unique so far. That's nope, that's an EMF4 activity right there. Sanity is still good. We don't care about any of that. I can do some tricks with spirit box so we can double check and be absolutely certain. Would not be a bad idea to take a crucifix in there, and we'll come back out later for some motion sensors so we can identify the pathing of the ghost. That's EMF5. Don't know what it did. Raiju or Obake. I believe we've covered the Obake, but we have not covered the Raiju. Are you here? Are you close? Are you friendly? Raiju will be dots. And Obake will be ultraviolet, which we don't have ultraviolet. Hey, look, dots. Alright. So good news and bad news. Alright. Good news is I just killed all that. Bad news was there was a lot of that. That's a new ghost, I believe. Let me quadruple check with our doohickey. That will be a new ghost. Hell yeah. Alright, we'll pop ourselves right over here into the truck and go over the Raiju's information. Finally, we got a new one. That took a minute. Let's see, pull up this, pull up you. Now, window capture that I want is not Notepad, but Opera with the Phasmophobia wiki. There we go. All right, so this is the Phas wiki. I'm gonna have to link to this in the description. I should have to link this in the description. Scroll down a little bit. You have all your stuff right here. Characteristics, behavior, blah 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 blah. Gotta love the blah 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 blah. Where was it? There's one on here. Character, behavior, visibility, sounds, types of ghosts. Click on that one, takes you down here. This is arranged the same way the journal is. We want Raiju. Can actually go ahead and shrink some of these guys in there. This page is loaded with ads, absolutely loaded. I haven't tried any ad blockers, but my god, there's so many ads. All right, let me quadruple check. This is exactly what you guys are seeing. Awesome. The Raiju is a type of ghost in Phasmophobia. I think it says that for all of the ghosts. I don't know why. The Raiju siphons the power from electronic equipment to both increase its aggression and boost its speed during a hunt. So from that, you can imply that having a bunch of electronics on in the ghost room with the ghost in the ghost room is going to make the ghosts more interactive and event-worthy. Strength, active electronics boosts its speed during hunts. Weaknesses, disrupts electronics from further away when manifesting. I don't know if it can detect them, but it will disrupt them. Maybe we'll find out. Ability, when a Raiju manifests during a ghost event or a hunt, it will interfere with electronics that are up to 15 meters away on the same floor instead of the usual 10. So not quite double, but 1.5 times. This also applies to global chat. So, I mean, it's kind of hard. You don't really have a good way of judging a few meters, especially in a 3D game. But essentially, if you know you're a lot further away than most ghosts would be when they interact with your electronics and an event is happening, you can identify a Raiju long before a hunt. Speaking of hunt, when at least one piece of active electronic equipment is nearby, the Raiju's hunt sanity threshold is increased to 65%. Otherwise, it has a normal threshold of 50%. Which means once you get below 65, it can hunt rather than getting below 50. So it can hunt earlier. Which I don't think I ever really hear anybody talking about. During hunts, if the Raiju is within a certain distance of at least one piece of active electronic equipment on the same floor, that can be located outside the investigation area even. So if there's something outside, but like a camera or something's placed on a tripod, it'll move at a fixed speed of 2.5 meters per second. Small map is... Oh, so these are the ranges. So if it's within 6 meters on a small map, 8 meters on a medium, and 10 meters on a large map, that's when it gets its boost. Otherwise, those follow standard ghost speeds with one particularity. If the Raiju has line of sight with a player near electronic equipment, the speed increase from continuous line of sight adds in the background and will only be applied once it is no longer nearby any electronics. So if you are looping a ghost and you want to test for Raiju and you turn on like an EMF for your headlight, then the ghost is going to speed up immediately to that 2.5 meters per second. If you keep looping it like that, and so you have long hunts enabled or something like that, or you're on a large map so it's already enabled, then you turn off that electronic. If its line of sight speed in the background is built up enough, it'll actually get a speed boost. So you'd have to slow it down at that point by turning on electronics. All effects are listed above. Apply to most electronic equipment, whether they are placed, held in the hand, or dropped on the floor. The following do not count towards the speed boost or the hunt sanity threshold. Global chat does not count as a powered on electronic for the purposes of Raiju speed boost. Video cameras and photo cameras that are thrown on the ground. So like how I pulled the video camera off of the tripod and threw it, that won't contribute. But being placed on the tripod and the tripod being set on the ground, that will contribute. Motion sensors, sound sensors, and dots projectors that are thrown on the ground or held in your hand, excluding tier 1 dots, which also needs to be turned off. Those will not contribute, but if they're placed on the wall, they will. If the sound sensors are placed on the floor, they will. Objects in the inventory except for flashlights that are turned on. So if your flashlight's on in the background, it's going to notify the ghost and it's going to get a speed boost from it. Any other electrical equipment not brought in from the truck, building lights, fuses, box, etc. CCTV fan. So like if you're turning on the lights in a room, that's not going to affect the ghost. Miscellaneous. The player's heartbeats can be heard within 15 meters of the Raiju instead of 10. So the heartbeat is also a factor here, making the heartbeats much louder with the Raiju compared to other ghosts. This is likely a bug, but it's one we can pay attention to. This is the information from the journal. It's up to you whether or not you want to trust it or how you want to interpret it. Obviously, we have EMF 5, ghost orbs, and dots to identify a Raiju. Strategies, you can come up with your own ideas here. It doesn't have a whole lot of history. Ooh, notes. Due to a bug, only active flashlight in a player's inventory, i.e. not being held, or active headgear will allow the Raiju to hunt early. The Raiju will also not speed up as intended when near a host holding an active electronic, with the exceptions of an active flashlight in the inventory, active headgear, and a held tripod with a mounted video camera. Interesting. Alright, so let's go back to OBS. We could deselect you. Close that window now. So now we're going to try to showcase this by letting the ghost hunt, which is obviously not ideal considering we just... we got the magic mirror that'll work. So we're going to want incense. I'm just going to use a flashlight for this, and I'm wanting another incense. We're going to set ourselves up in the kitchen. I think we have a crucifix over here we're going to need to recover. It would help to turn on the breaker, which is again in the goddamn basement, because this ghost sucks. I turned that light on forever ago. Toss you in here, toss you in here. Let's go grab the mirror and that crucifix. Probably not in that order. Need to have an open hand for cursed possessions. There goes 20% sanity. Well, there goes 20% sanity. So that is earlier than normal. So I think this is what it's talking about, is that the flashlight is not going to add to the ghost speed boost. But the headgear will. That's something to keep an eye out for. But you could hear that dut 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 dut. Instantaneous. I don't even think it really ramped. And now we'll actually set this up so we'll have this equipment set up over here. So he's instantly going to speed up here, but then he's going to be normal speed once he rounds the corner to get over to me, because I'm going to try to lure him with the walkie-talkie. I don't feel like waiting. I'm almost 0. There we go. Now he's normal speed. If I turn that on and let it sit there, now he's faster. He's fast because of the flashlight in the kitchen. Over here he's fast because of all the powered on electronics right here. And the more you have, the bigger it doesn't like it's not like it makes a bigger bubble, but it will extend the range, because obviously some items are closer that way, some items are closer that way. That's pretty much it for the Raiju. Yeah, had to drain my sanity completely for that, but that is all of the information to go over with that. That's all the nuances, technical abilities, even the more detailed information, such as how many meters away the effect is. You could tell that the ghost is starting to hunt in the bathroom, and I was all the way in the kitchen and the flashlight was being affected. You could check that with other ghosts and you'll see it's not exactly the case normally. Skip all that. There's a Raiju, and that's that. Now, it took a few tries, but now let me double check that we have marked it off the list. I can go ahead and save that. Now we have done 11 out of 24 ghosts, right? Spirit Polter Mare, Mylene Raiju, that is 5. Banshee Revenant Obake Dio, that's 4. And Jin and Mimic, that's another 2. Hell yeah, 11 ghosts total. This is only going to get harder and harder as it goes, so maybe this upcoming Saturday when we do our stream at 10 a.m. And again, let me know in the comments down below if you guys think that maybe a different time might work. I am completely stopped up during the week, but I normally get back from work on Fridays by we'll say at least 7 p.m. Eastern. So if you guys think Saturday evenings or Saturday nights might be a better option, then let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, different times on Saturdays, maybe on Sundays. I don't know about Sunday. I don't really want to get up early on a Sunday, but I kind of need to go to bed early on a Sunday, so I don't have a lot of wiggle room there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you could like, comment, and or subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Anything that you could do for the channel does help me poke back into the channel for you. If you have any game recommendations or any comments, critiques, anything at all, let me know in the comments down below. I pretty much read all of them, so I'll be basically guaranteed that I'll be reading whatever you write down there. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.